It is Saturday afternoon, it is 3:30. Now I'm about to get my primary squats done, which are very heavy today, and I am very nervous for them, but I'm just gonna crack on and trust that I can do it. And then I've got primary bench, so it's a pretty quick session, to be fair. As soon as I get into the swing of things with squats, from there it's like pretty quick. Update on my neck/pain that I've been in. So it's now Saturday. The worst day where it kind of first flared up was like early hours Tuesday, and then all of Tuesday it was like incredibly intense pain. It has kind of eased off a little bit each day, so I haven't had to take any super strong painkillers today. The pain is still there, but it's not as intense. Like it's not really much worse than when I normally have a bad flare-up anyway. Like I go through phases of having flare-ups. Like it's probably now around the equivalent of when I've had like worse flare-ups since it kind of happened. So in terms of grand scheme of things, I can definitely manage with the pain that I'm currently in. And actually the only painkillers I've taken today are for a headache that I've got, which will not go away, but I think that is actually linked to the tension in my neck from obviously what's been going on. So up until yesterday, Friday, I was still on the very strong painkillers that would make me feel very drowsy and just pretty spaced out and not great. But I actually managed to get a decent night's sleep last night as well, so that's definitely helped. And overall, like in everything else, I'm feeling pretty good. It's just, obviously I've still got this pain there and it's annoying, but I don't think it's gonna hinder my session at all today. I may end up benching into my sports bra again, just because I don't wanna risk making it loads worse and stuff, just from putting that neck pressure into the pad, but I'll worry about that when I get there. First off, I've got heavy squats that I am scared for, but I'll be fine. But yeah, no, pain is still there. It's like, I don't wanna play it down, like it is still bad, but it's not anything I can't live with if I have to, kind of thing, and I think it's still going to continue to get better, and I'm not scared about how bad it is at the moment either. Like it's just there. I'm going to live with it for a bit longer. It will just gradually ease off, I'm sure, and I'm just going to keep doing the things I've been doing, and hopefully it'll be like all right. But I mean, to be honest, the thing I'm most annoyed about today is just this headache that won't go. Like I'm definitely hydrated. I've had plenty of time in the fresh air as well. I went on a long walk with Zuko this morning before it got too warm. We ended up actually exploring like a completely new part of the woods near us, which was lovely. Also, just feeling pretty tired today, won't lie. I did actually sleep quite well last night, but I think just the week and the stress of the week and the pain of the week is still I'm kind of catching up on that, but all is good. All is good. I don't think there's any other updates really. Body weight is trending a little bit higher, but TMI, the painkillers that I've been on have essentially caused me to be not going to the toilet, basically. Didn't know the most delicate way to word that. So that'll be why my weight's a little bit up. I think I was 86.9 this morning, where I should in theory be like low 86s right now, but I'm not concerned. Like I've still stuck to my macros perfectly. I've actually tried a few new recipes the last couple of days as well, so that's quite exciting. And also finally getting moving with the house as well, which is good. I've ordered some samples and stuff for the floor to actually get moving on with getting the floor all sorted in the house once the electrics are done. And now looking at getting like other DIY bits in that I can be picking up hopefully Monday, maybe tomorrow if I get time tomorrow. So yeah.
True love, this ain't right here, so I'm gonna leave you. Can be with someone who doesn't care. You're running and running and running and running away from our problems. So here we stand on the edge tonight. There's no turning back now. I've been weak for 3 damn weeks. I can't think straight, no I can't eat. I cry and I cry and I cry and I cry. The way I cry, it's time to say goodbye. This is what
Okay, session is done. I'm being brave. The shutter and doors are open. That's my headphone, not my headphone, my speaker turning off. The shutters and doors are open and I'm still gonna record. That's brave. Anyway, session was decent. Squats were obviously slow. My top set, I actually caught the rack on the way down and the way up on my first rep of my top double. Don't quite know how I've done that. I've literally, like I always catch the rack when I walk out on this rack, but I've never caught it during a rep before, so that was annoying. But I also went way deeper on my top set than on any of my warm-ups, which I mean, it's good because it means I'm squatting lower when it's heavy, and obviously I want to make sure I hit depth, but also that was silly. But I know that the weights on week 3 are still scary numbers for me because I'm just not used to hitting these weights. They're like end of block weights, comp weights. They're not week 3 of the block weights, you know? So I always expect them to be a little bit rubbish when I'm doing them at home, just for the fact that I'm obviously scared. It is dangerous squatting these loads at home without obviously I've got safeties on the combo, but they're not designed for squats. So I have my boyfriend behind me just to be safe, in case anything did go wrong. He could just help me get the bar on the safeties, or just basically be in here if something happened. But that 185 double, the second rep was slow, but it didn't feel max effort. Like when I think about how difficult my top sets feel on week 4 when I go to powering through versus how that felt today, it definitely felt more like a technical issue today, and also just a nervousness issue. So I'm pretty sure if I go to powering through next week, which I think is the plan, I haven't 100% decided, I'll be going somewhere though. That won't be a problem. I'm just going to load up and just go for it and just see what happens. Even if I hit like a 195 single, I'll be pretty happy. So we'll just wait and see. Obviously I want a double, but we'll just see what happens. I might load a little bit less if I need to, but basically the plan is a 195 double, and I still feel like that is still a very realistic goal. Back-offs were hard, but not like I couldn't do them hard, just that like I had to remind myself that it's not always meant to be easy. So they weren't super comfortable, but they were how they should feel. Like they were getting to the point where I'm building strength. They are hard, but they're not like impossible. And then bench, obviously not an issue, it's just my priming bench, so nothing else to really say there. But I'm pretty happy, got a session done in a good time. Gonna head in, eat, and get ready to film this podcast. Okay, so it is Sunday afternoon. It is 1:30. I've had a pretty productive morning. Zuko let me have a lay-in, so it was my turn to get up with him today. And that worked out very well for me, because yesterday he woke up at like 6:30, 7, so my boyfriend had to get up with him. Today he decided not to wake up until 8:30, and then my boyfriend actually got up anyway. So I got up at 8:30 this morning, and I literally logged straight onto I had breakfast, fed Zuko, logged straight onto my computer, got my work all done by lunchtime, and I am now about to go and take Zuko for a walk, come back, have a late lunch, let that settle. I think the plan is to bench around 4-ish, although the F1 starts at 4 and I want to watch that this week, but that's fine. We're going to bench around 4-ish and then go train, do our accessory day, pump after. My boyfriend's just popped into the city to get some bits today, so basically need to time it for when he gets home and has eaten to then leave to go to the gym. So that is kind of the plan. Yesterday, after I trained, had time to do a couple client replies before we filmed the British Uni Champs preview show, which I'm currently, as I'm talking, getting uploaded onto YouTube ready for tomorrow morning. The preview show actually went really well. It was with completely different people. So Sam, who was on there, has been on a preview show before. He was on the juniors preview show, but the other two on there haven't had on a preview show before or a podcast before, but it went really well. I'm very happy with how it went, especially like, it's one of those things with podcasting, like as you get into the conversation, obviously, especially with preview shows, you will start to come out of your shell a little bit more. So I think as the conversation went on, it definitely got better and better. But I'm really happy with how it went. I did have to clip it up a little bit more than I normally would this morning. I don't usually edit my podcast much. I literally just clip out the first like little bit of dead air when it first starts recording. And then right at the end as well, once I've like thanked them for coming on, I tend to just cut it straight there. And then, so yeah, I basically just had to go in and just kind of clip up a few little bits, just where it was like, who's going to take the lead, that sort of thing. But it didn't take too long. Still kind of just kept everything kind of as it was, because it flowed pretty well. So yeah, really enjoyed that. I do really love podcasting. I was having this conversation the other day, like podcasting is probably my favourite thing of what I'm doing right now. Obviously outside of just general coaching, like from more like a social media perspective, like podcasting is probably my favourite thing. But it's just like a time constraint, because actually it's the least important thing to me. Like, in terms of what I'm doing, like that's the least, I don't want to call it the least important thing, because actually I've had quite a few inquiries of people that listen to the podcast as well, so it is definitely from a business perspective. And I don't like to only think of things from business perspectives, but obviously that is quite an important thing. The podcast is almost, I think because it's the newest venture, is kind of the least important, but also like I'm uploading once a week and I haven't missed a week. I've got 31 episodes filmed, so this preview show that comes out tomorrow morning as of filming this will be episode 30. So I'm already at 30 episodes. I haven't missed a single week, and I've travelled within that, I've competed within that. Like, I've had a lot of other stuff going on, so I'm being really consistent with it, and I'm really proud of it, and it's getting a good amount of downloads and stuff. But I think in terms of like just my actual schedule itself, like that's probably the hardest thing to do, because I can't have like a set time, a set day each week that I have set out for podcasting, because it's so dependent on the guests that I have on, what time zone they're in, what their schedule's like, things like that, as to when I can film them. So I think that's where I think the podcast is probably the most stressful thing. But when I'm actually sat there having those conversations with people, I love it so much. Like, it is really good. So yeah, basically I'm loving the podcast. It's going really well. The preview show went pretty well. I'm happy with it. That's going to be out tomorrow, and then back to normal. I don't think we'll have any more preview shows until Worlds, which is June, which to be fair is only going to be like 4 or 5 episodes away at most. So yeah, things are going well. Today's plan though, so I have got some stuff I want to get done around the house. I don't really use TikTok. I only use TikTok when I go down a rabbit hole of some kind and I want to find quick advice on things, and DIY TikTok is like one thing that I've really obsessed over. It's DIY TikTok and food prep TikTok are 2 things that I obsess over. Other than that, like, you'll never see me just scrolling TikTok, right? So yesterday I went down a massive DIY rabbit hole, and I was literally watching videos in bed until almost midnight on ideas of what to do to freshen up our house and just to get things done. So I've got a couple jobs I'm already kind of, I ordered loads of stuff yesterday to get me started on some jobs I want to do in terms of like the skirting boards and other bits of the house. But I've gone down like a rabbit hole of how I can get our bathroom looking nicer, because we can't afford to have that done for at least a year, I would say. Well, I say that, we probably could, but I want to wait about a year just to get us in a good financial position before we do it. And so I just went down this massive rabbit hole last night, and then today, like, I want to just get stuff around the house clean, done, ready, so that as soon as my stuff I ordered yesterday arrives, I can just crack on and get stuff done. So yeah, that wasn't really very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I'll catch up with you guys when I go out to train in a little while. So yeah, plan is just to crack on, get this done. It is heavy bench today, but because it's only bench, I don't really have to like psych myself up for the session. Like, I literally just get warmed up, get under the bar, get going. A little bit worried about my neck. Like, it hasn't felt great today. Like, it's not particularly any worse than it was yesterday, but it's just not good still, and obviously it's heavy bench, so that's probably my only concern. But we'll just see. If I have to bench in my sports bra just to help me with positioning, I will. But I am obviously trying to avoid that because I'm not going to have that option on comp day. But obviously by the time comp day gets here, my neck should hopefully be feeling back to pretty much normal again. And to be honest, even if it's not, I think for comp day, I would just suck up a lot of pain just to obviously get my positioning right. So that is a problem I'll deal with as and when the time comes. But just for today, I'm just going to kind of crack on and see how we go. Don't think I've got anything else to report. Body weight was back down to 86.5 today, which is still up on last week, but pretty sure I've already mentioned this video, like the painkillers and stuff have just affected my body's like movements and stuff. So that's just made me retain a little bit extra weight, but I stopped taking the strong painkillers, I think Friday. I took them Friday and I haven't taken them since. So I'm hoping my body just kind of gets back to normal and stuff over the next day or two. Anyway, but I will be checking in with Jane kind of tomorrow morning, so we'll see what's going on there. But I don't think I ever mentioned she'd actually put my calories up again this week, so I've been enjoying extra food. And actually, the amount of food that I'm on is a really nice amount for me. Like, it is a very, like, I could survive on this many calories, like, almost long term. Like, I'm not struggling at all. I can fit in what I want to eat. The thing is with her as well, like, very big focus on my fibre goals. I don't know if she necessarily puts that focus on, like, she obviously sets fibre goals, like most nutrition coaches do, but I feel under pressure to get them hit every time, which is obviously a good thing. And it just makes obviously the quality of my food that much better and consistently better. So yeah, I think that's all I've really got to say. Okay, so session done, very, very happy. So I kind of just ignored my neck and got my position as good as possible, but I still couldn't maintain my position perfectly, but obviously it was good enough that 110 moved so well and my 100 back offs was super easy. If I compare, so this is the exact same weight I did on week 3 of last block, and it moved so much easier. Like, my 110 on week 3 of last block was pretty slow. Like, I wouldn't have had a kilo more on the day probably. Whereas today, like, I could have benched 115 pretty comfortably. So I'm really, really happy with how that moved, and it sets me up nicely for next week. I think I had a message come through literally as I was about to do my top, well, a couple minutes before I did my top set. So I also made sure to actually rest, which definitely helped, before I did my top single. And it was someone sending me my next op, which was another girl that's just totaled 500 in the 84, so she's cut down from the 84 plus. I already knew she totaled 500, I think it was yesterday, because I do follow her and I knew she was cutting down and I was quite excited to see what she did. But yeah, it was like, oh, your next op. And I said that was my fuel for my top single to move so well, but actually, I'm being like, so in the preview show last night as well, this kind of briefly came up. Obviously it wasn't about me, I'm not doing bucks, so we didn't stick on it for many seconds, but there's another 84 gal that's also really, really good. And she's, I think she's junior, she's still a junior. But she's like looking to be close to that 500 mark. And I do, like, I wouldn't say this on any other platforms right now unless I was like being satire on Instagram, but I probably wouldn't ever say this anywhere other than YouTube, because I feel like only a very small group of people I really know watch my YouTube, and I feel like 500 doesn't intimidate me, right? Like, firstly, the next 2 comps I'm doing are not that important. Like, obviously I want to win them, and I want to do as well as possible, like win the 84s within them. And my regional comp is based on GL, so I'm not too fussed about actual placing for that one. But like All England, I'd like to win, but British is the one I care about, and I know for a fact that 500 will not be enough for podium. Like, I will need to be 530 plus, I would imagine, by December, like at least 530, if not more. I wouldn't be surprised if I need more like 540, 550, which is a massive ask, and I don't know if I'm going to be there. But my thing is as well, I'm looking at this long term. Like, I think I've said in a previous video, and I remember I even said to Jane on our consultation call, like, British this year is my most important competition of the year. But British next year, if I can keep my momentum, if I can keep myself healthy, if I can keep doing what I'm doing and keep making my life as tailored around being the athlete as possible, which obviously I am doing, then I can be close to that 600 mark, if not at that 600 mark at the end of next year. Like, that is the actual important one. Like, I want to make Team GB, and one part of that is, it sounds awful, but outlasting the other lifters and staying healthier than the other lifters is a massive key with that. Like, I've got the training down, I've got the momentum down, my lifestyle is pretty suited to this sport. Like, basically I'm saying I'm not intimidated by these girls coming up, because one, I love that there's more competition, and also I know I'm progressing at a really good rate, so I just have to keep going and do my own thing. Like, I can't control how strong other people are, but I do genuinely believe that I am stronger than these other people. It's just about obviously putting it together on the day. And I think my deadlift, the way it moved this week, was incredibly, like, way better than I thought it was going to, because it was an SBD day that I had to merge together. My neck was so painful. I was fried by the end of the session, like, and yet it still moved that well that it really sets me up. Like, I think the tweaks I made to my deadlifting programming this block seem to be working really well. So basically, I'm just saying I'm not intimidated by these girls hitting 500, because 500 is a baseline. Like, I should be comfortably over 500 at my next comp. And definitely by the end of All England's, like, the next comp, the powering through comp, this regional that I'm doing in, like, I think it's 5 weeks today, is just to gauge where I'm at. The comp's 7 weeks after that, All England's. Still a fun comp, but I will obviously know more where my top end is based on how things moved at powering through. So that's what I want to say. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to get in, get my accessories done, and eat, get ready for this wedding reception. I'll wrap the video up here. If you've made it to the end, thank you. I appreciate it. Please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I've had a few new subscribers recently, which is always nice. Make sure you like the video, comment if you have anything you want to see, you have any questions, anything like that, and I will see you in the next one.
But this ain't true love, this ain't right here, so I'm gonna leave you. Can be with someone who